Hello everyone, this is Javamonk, and welcome to episode 9 of my adventure map making series. So, this episode we're going to put in the final touches to this adventure map, and then afterwards, I'm planning to do a live stream where I play through the entire thing and fix anything that comes up, and then this is the second to the last episode of this series, at which point episode 10 will be the full release of this map. So, let's put in the final touches. Quite possibly the biggest problem plaguing this map right now is food. Right now, you cannot survive the map because food is not something that's regularly available. So, here's a solution. We can have golden apples possible to get from chest loot in the different mazes, plus getting food from the quest makers. Now, as for getting food from quest makers, this exchange should be free. So, in all of these offices, I should probably have a button that just says "Get Food." That'll get you maybe half a stack of steak, for example. So here's something that I could do. I could quite literally have a button in every quest maker office after the zombie dungeon that just says "Hungry?" Then you can just press this button and I can quite literally just give the player steak, cooked beef, I guess, and half a stack. I could do that. That's boring, but it's something that just you can do for free. You just walk over and go plop, give me some food, and give me some more food, give me some more food. So you can keep pressing that button as many times as you want to. And I think that is the best solution. So let me just perhaps just get food. There you go. And as long as it doesn't intersect with any other buttons that appear on the wall, then it's just fine. So I'm just gonna take this and put this in every quest maker's office, and hopefully that solves the problem of food, or lack thereof. While I'm at it, in the Moon Hotel, the change to make it so iron doors are not transparent on top has unfortunately made all the different rooms in the Moon Hotel invisible. So I'm putting glass windows so you can at least take a peek inside the different reserved rooms. Okay, the problem of food is now resolved. In every quest maker's office, you are now able to just press a button and get food. Nice and easy. Now, the next problem is Totems of Undying. Totems of Undying are very useful in this map. After all, they can be used to survive death. Also, they are used as currency to trade for different items, including very powerful things and upgrades to other things throughout the map. And they are gained. You can get 20 of them just going through the trivia maze, a guaranteed 20 Totems of Undying, and a possible another 30 going down the underground Mars drop, assuming you go down every single ring, plus a couple extra gained here and there, and there's not enough inventory slots for that many Totems of Undying. So, here's the solution. We can implement a banking system into this map, and have a scoreboard where you can quite literally just press one button to remove totems and store it somewhere else, and another button to gain back those totems. So let's implement that right now. Okay, let's test this. I have 2 Totems of Undying in my inventory, so I can remove a totem, and that stores it in the scoreboard on the sidebar right here. Now if I want to get that totem back, I can just get it back. All I gotta do now is just decrease the I just gotta decrease the actual scoreboard. So I can do that nice and easily. Scoreboard, players, remove, add P, totems 1. There we go. So now, if I'm gonna get the, let's say I already gave one up to the scoreboard, and then get one back. Now I get another totem, and I can't get any more totems because I have none saved. Perfect. This is amazing. Okay. Well, that is awesome. Okay, we now have a system to save totems and get them back, and these two buttons are present in every quest maker's office. Now, as for the Bank of the Quest Makers, which is essentially a shulker box that will just pop up out of nowhere and is first introduced on the moon. So this shulker box is actually kind of interesting because I fully intend on moving the item itself, not storing it in any weird command block. I'm not even sure if you could, but I intend on moving the actual item. So here's how this is gonna work. When the player leaves the quest maker office, then the player is teleported. In this case, after the Moon Hotel, they're teleported into the 2-exit maze. At that point, there should be a command block to destroy this shulker box, thus turning it into an item. And then the item itself is going to be teleported up to a hopper over here, or actually, I could do that. I could just briefly place a dispenser right here and power that dispenser, and then remove the dispenser, remove the redstone to power that dispenser, thus having the shulker box remain. It's a bit complicated, but it's something I know how to do. Okay, here's the plan. I have a bunch of command blocks that are gonna deal with this shulker box right here. And just to ensure it's the same shulker box, I'm gonna put a stack of endstone bricks right in here. It's not renamed because I didn't use a command to place it, but it should still work. So, let's now activate only this part. So, this command block will destroy the shulker box, turning it into an item. This command block then teleports the item into that quest maker's office, at which point, a little bit later, it places the shulker box and covers up the tracks. So, as for where it places the shulker box, the item is going to land on the hopper here, and which will end up in this dropper. And then a redstone block will be placed here, which will allow this dispenser to place the shulker box right here. And then the fill command just covers up its tracks, removes the dispenser, removes the redstone block. So let's see if that actually happens. Although what would be probably better is if I have the redstone block activate and power the system twice. This way it can get up the dropper and up the dispenser as well. But we'll just see how this goes. Okay. So first test, did it remove the shulker box? Yes, it did. Now what happened after that? So it must have landed in here. Okay. So we have an item, a shulker box item. And it is the one with a stack of endstone bricks. But we need to actually place the shulker box, otherwise it's totally pointless because players in adventure mode cannot place their own blocks unless I specifically give them permission to. And I don't want the player to be placed in the shulker box. Okay, now let's test out this system. We have extra command blocks to power the stack of dropper and dispenser twice before the tracks are covered up. So here we go. The shulker box here is broken and teleported. The item is in the hopper, and so it's not stuck in the dropper, and instead it's nowhere. What the heck? Where's the shulker box? Where did the shulker box go? Okay, did change the block. Teleported the shulker box. Change the block. Change the block. Change the block. Fill 2 blocks. That should have worked. That is weird. Okay, I'm going to try each step and see how it goes. I'm going to drop a stack of endstone bricks just on the floor. So let's see. That should break whatever block is there and teleport the items, which it should have teleported it all into this hopper right here, which it did. Okay, so now this dropper has the item, or the items. Now I gotta place a dispenser here because that's a required aspect of the system, otherwise it simply won't work. Okay, so now let's see if the double powering works correctly. So, let's do that. And let's see. So how many items were removed here? 2 items. And how many ended up here? 1 item. So now we're left with a peculiar mystery. Where did the other item go? So some logistical issues with the shulker box system. First off, I can't go between dimensions with having hoppers move the shulker boxes around. But, so, really the longest transmission line for these shulker boxes would be from all the way up there in the final Mars Questmaker office, all the way to the office that serves as the last stop before the final boss. Now, this is an outrageously huge hopper line, and it'll either lag out the world or not transmit at all because, well, these chunks just aren't loaded perpetually. But, check this out. So, I'm going to select these chunks right now. So, this particular chunk. Check out this command, which I just now discovered. Force load add, and I can just do the tilde, 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 tilde. And now, this chunk right here is forced to be loaded. So, if I now say /summon, I'm gonna do a /summon example here. So let's /summon a armor stand. Those things aren't gonna move. And let's do it at the coordinates -57, 30, -157. I'm just gonna copy that command, and then go all the way over here. Actually, let's make this even more fun. First off, remove the chunk borders. Oops. Let's teleport myself. Let's go 1,000 blocks in this direction. There we go. It's going to cause some extra chunks to be loaded. Oh! That's actually pretty funny. I landed in exactly the spot where in the first episode. So, there's Mr. Elder Guardian. Anyway, summon new armor stand. Bam! Those chunks are not actually in the spawn chunks. And yet, I summoned the armor stand. So this works. Poor guy. He's just gonna keep bouncing around forever. So be it. Okay. So I was just flying over here and I just now saw the armor stand drop onto this spot. So it appears that just because I was able to summon the armor stand does not mean that the armor stand would actually recognize that gravity is a thing that can affect it. So I guess that's something to be aware of. But that's actually perfect for our situation because, well, we don't need since these chunks are not going to be loaded, the shulker box item will never despawn. And this thing, I'm pretty sure this whole thing actually works in the nether in the end. Let's actually test that, make sure that we can still summon that armor stand if we're in the nether. So, if I remember correctly,
chunks in the overworld unload if you're in the nether for longer than a minute. So let's check that. Test and make sure that actually works. Actually, let's not go to the nether. Let's go to the end. The location of the final boss battle. Featuring the Killer Bunny and metric crap ton of other mobs. This place under here with all these command blocks is an absolute disaster. Like, I can't tell what's going on where. So, I'm afraid all that work that we put in episode 6 is just gonna have to be destroyed. At least most of it. Because, well, it's messy, and I can't tell left from right, and the main issue, it's incomplete. So, let's just remove it, and replace it with some smarter systems, like this bazillion command blocks. These are all here to summon a bunch of mobs all at once. And with my new discovery, as in not a discovery, but with what I discovered about command blocks and functions, I can do all of this stuff with just one command. So let's actually do that. I'm going to put in a few functions, and that should make most of these command blocks obsolete. And let's test this function out. So the first mass summoning of mobs should be handled. Oh my golly. It worked perfectly. Okay, sweet. Awesome. Okay, so now we can summon multiple entities at once. So that means that now all of these command blocks right here can just be removed. Just every single one of them. And instead, we can just do function boss/mass1. That's just the first mass of mobs. Let's work on the second mass of mobs next. Oh boy, so we have a lot of stuff to do in the end, actually. So, turns out that boss fight episode really wasn't all that much. So, we're going to need to actually do most of the work involved, such as dealing with the dialogue, as well as putting in the system to spawn in the ultimate boss, the Killer Bunny. Which, by the way, I've decided that this system right here is great and all for powering up the Killer Bunny, but it doesn't make for that great of a boss fight. So it's going away. Completely. Well, mostly. We're actually going to replace it with a different system, not based on randomization, but actually it's going to be based on the state of the boss bar. So first off, I got to figure out how to time a boss bar to the health of the Killer Bunny, and then create 4 different phases based on that boss bar. Oh my golly. Okay, check this out. I have a rabbit right here, and I'm trying to basically detect its health. So I'm going to put the link to this YouTube video in the description because this is an absolute game changer for pretty much anything related to boss bars. I'm finally sort of understanding what to do. So this ridiculously huge command is all basically getting the health of this rabbit right here, showing it with the mouse, and it stores it in the boss bar called Bunny Health. Okay, and right now, that boss bar has a value of 3. Now, if I punch this bunny, uh-oh. Okay. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't have picked the... You know what? Maybe I should not have picked the... Shouldn't have picked the rabbit. Perhaps I could instead pick something like a... Let's see. How about a cave spider? Okay. At least temporarily. Okay. Let's see. So if I spawn a cave spider right here, this is mainly just to see if this sort of thing even works. So there we go. The boss bar has a value of 17. I have no idea why that's the case, but totally, totally fine. And then punch. So now it should get a value of 16. No. How about now? Okay. How about now? Let's see. This is actually working, right? That store result boss bar. That should work. Huh. That is odd. Okay. Let's try this really, really complicated command now. So, in fact, let me actually put this into a command block and set this to repeat and always active. There we go. Now, and actually let's make it more visible. Set bunny health max. Let's do 15. There we go. So now we can actually see the progress of this boss bar if it actually makes any progress at all. Which it doesn't. Huh. Okay. It seems this thing isn't actually activating. Oh, because it's still trying to find the. It's still trying to get the values of a rabbit. Yeah. Let's use this command instead, which does actually work. Last I checked. There we go. Swipe. And now I should be able to watch the health plummet as it dies. Okay. This is amazing. So now we have a boss bar of the Killer Bunny. Well, we'll soon. Some significant progress has been made. So all of this stuff over here that used to control everything related to the boss fight, well, I started making some tweaks here and there, and then realized that the main issue was that it was completely disorganized. So I went over here and totally redid everything, complete with the functions that I now know about, sort of, and now we have a brand new system. So here's how it works. So first off, there's going to be a redstone block right here. I'm not going to place that just yet because it'll activate this command block, which detects the fact that a player has entered the end. I'm not sure how I'm actually going to place this redstone block over here once I actually leave the end. Because if it detects me anywhere nearby, it's going to instantly activate this whole thing. It's going to be kind of like a enormous mousetrap. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. But what happens is it then sets off this chain of command blocks. That's the first part of the dialogue. At which point it places a redstone block right here, which detects the existence of the first wither. So I'd recommend you go back to episode 6, where I fully explain everything that happens in the boss fight. But first it detects one wither, and then once that one wither is no longer detected, it activates this string of command blocks, which would then activate this repeating command block, which does exactly the same thing, except it's designed for 2 withers. I decided to not deal with efficiency and instead just make it work. So basically it goes all the way down the line here. Now where things get interesting is after massive mobs number 2 comes around. Once that happens, it activates this set of command blocks right here, which handles everything related to the Ender Dragon. So first off, we detect the fact that the dragon spawned, at which point, once it detects that, it has the Killer Bunny basically make a fool of the player, followed by spawning an Elder Guardian, followed by placing a redstone block right here, which would detect the fact that the dragon died. It will also destroy all Ender Crystals, so the player won't have to destroy it themselves. That would be ridiculously unfair.
and then it removes the redstone block over here, which would have activated this command block, and looks like it also places a repeater right here. And this is just a really messy workaround for some things that I'm sure I could compact into 1 or 2 command blocks, but I've kind of decided to forego efficiency for just making it work. I'm really only using functions when it's most convenient and most efficient to, well, not so much efficient, but easier to keep track of that way. So then, once it detects that the first dragon has died, it then activates the function that opens up the portal so that you can possibly spawn another dragon. And it also places a redstone block right here, which would basically be detecting the fact that a second dragon has spawned. If instead the player threw the dialog displayer, it skips this entire section here and just goes along with it, keeps going with the dialog, which is over here. Now this dialog here spawns the killer bunny. So now we have a spawner, a command block that spawns a rabbit that it's a killer bunny type, has a health of 100, and yeah, it's pretty decked out. And then it also sets this boss bar to true. Now I'm gonna cheat real quick and just do that. So the boss bar will always be available, but I can just set it visible, true or not. But the thing is, it's only useful during the fight against the killer bunny because of this command block, which basically pins the value of the boss bar to the health value of the killer bunny. So nice and easy there. Plus it activates plus it goes back to the main detection area, which would detect the killer bunny. So once the killer bunny has died, it then will activate this set of dialogue, which would basically show the fact that, hey, it's time for the player to return to the overworld, at which point, well, at this point, the end is not useful anymore. So that, of course, leaves the question, what is all of this? Well, I've decided to completely change how the killer bunny, the actual boss fight, is like. So it's not just going to be the killer bunny with 100 health hopping around and occasionally striking the player with lightning. It's going to be far more advanced than that. Okay, if you take a look at the top here, you can see the fact that the killer bunny boss bar has 12 notches in it. This is because I couldn't figure out how to make it only have 4 notches. Now, why 4? Because I'm planning to have 4 different phases of the boss fight based entirely on the health of the bunny. So I gotta figure out how to actually make it so when 1/4 of the health goes away, it switches to the next phase. So that's left to be figured out. But each phase, I can work on that right now. So here's the plan. Phase 1. It's just a killer bunny hopping around and just not doing anything. It's just hopping around and attacking like a normal killer bunny does. In fact, I can actually, maybe not. So phase 2 then comes around once the bunny is at 75% health. I might actually increase the health of the bunny. Just wondering. And then, so phase 2, it activates this command block, which will basically make the bunny arrow-proof. And if it detects that an arrow was shot, it then makes fun of the player and basically makes fun of the fact that now the bunny is arrow-proof. You cannot hit him with arrows. Any arrows that are shot go away. I have a sign here because when 1.14 update comes around, which will hopefully actually be later this episode, then I'll be able to set a command block here to activate a function called phase 2, and it'll activate every 20 seconds. Now what the phase 2 function is this. It basically spawns 3 evokers. But actually, so this command block right here basically does it handles Keen Wololo, the evoker,
which basically turns all fangs into Vindicators. But you know what? I can actually very easily change how this behaves, because one function controls everything, including the phase 2 function. Yeah, I have a function activating another function. Is that cool or what? I think these functions are amazing. I still haven't figured out the full potential of these, but so far, so good. Well, this is interesting. Looks like I just created Vindicator Rain just by activating the phase 2 function. Okay, I think that's too many Vindicators. Yeah. Actually, let's just activate the let's activate the evoke a power function just to see how many Vindicators are spawned. Okay then. Game's not responding. Hello? That's weird. Okay, so phase 3 of the Killer Bunny boss fight is going to it's gonna make the bunny even more powerful. So it's not only going to make the bunny arrow proof, it's also going to make it fireproof. So I think we can just we don't need to mock the player anymore for shooting arrows at it. So let's instead just destroy all the arrows. Plus, we can let's also give the Killer Bunny. So in this case, that'll be rabbit. Distance equals .5000. This basically makes it so anything that happens in here stays in the end. It doesn't cause trouble anywhere else. And want to give the bunny fire resistance, maybe for 3 seconds. Amplifier 25. Hide the particles. So now what this would do is it's going to, let's see. Well, first off, okay, so arrows do nothing. They just instantly go away. In fact, I can even show the hitbox. It appears very briefly and then just disappears. So that's exactly as intended. But now, let's test the whole fireproof bunny thing. So let's see. Let's grab any old rabbit, just like that. Don't need the hitboxes anymore. And normally this would be incredibly cruel, but well, the bunny is fireproof. Cool. Okay, sweet. So now we have well, now it's not fireproof anymore. But now we have a fireproof bunny. So that's one of the things that I want to do. The other thing I want to do is actually, I think it's probably gonna scare the player whoever does this the first time around. So the player is gonna be able to get a trident at some point in their adventure through the rest of the adventure map. But in phase 3 of the Killer Bunny boss fight, that trident, if it's thrown, will come back to get him, quite literally. So here's the idea. Let's see. So I want to first off execute at e type equals trident. So run, and this is the command. So the idea is, well, normally tridents will come back to you by loyalty. But what I want is a trident that will not come back to me, will not despawn, and instead, if I throw it, it'll instead kind of stop and then turn back around and keep trying to attack me. And I think the best way to do that is by making the trident hitch a ride with a phantom, at least an invisible phantom. Let's see how this works out. Okay, that turned out almost as epic as I thought it would. So
Now we have a trident, just a floating trident, that can just float around and doesn't seem to be attached to anything. So, great thing about a phantom... Oh, well there goes... Huh. Okay, so it looks like if you kill the phantom, then the trident will be able to be picked up. Not sure I like the sound of that. You know what? Let's make... I suppose I could either make the trident not pick upable, or I could make the phantom not killable. I think it would actually be much crazier if I make the phantom not killable. And since there's not going to be any other entity detectors once the killer bunny's in place, then this trident is basically going to be chasing after the player pretty much until the end of time, as long as they're in the same dimension. So, yeah, let's make the phantom not killable. Okay, and now, let's see what if this phantom will actually behave like a phantom. So, I'm just going to give myself resistance, because, well, you can never be too careful. So, there we go. And now, let's hop into survival mode and see just what this phantom decides to do. So now, well, okay, I think that actually looks pretty good. It does actually look like the player's trident is literally coming back to attack them. Plus, it's got the swooping and diving motions that a phantom normally does. So, okay, this is actually pretty good. Now let's see, can I actually kill this phantom? I probably shouldn't be throwing my trident. Okay, so there's an issue with the plan of making a trident hitch a ride on a phantom. And the issue is that if this command block here is going to kill the trident, which it absolutely should, the trident that the player throws, then the trident that's riding on top of the phantom will also be killed. I can't change the texture of the phantom because phantoms are present elsewhere in the adventure map. So I tried retexturing an armor stand to look like a trident, and yeah, that didn't work. I also tried maybe retexturing a leash knot to look like a trident. That both didn't work, and the leash knot kept jumping around. So, yeah. And in fact, I think I can even show you. Yeah. Yeah, that's not good. So, yeah, I still gotta figure out what to do with trident riding the phantom. I think I just found a way to pull this off. So, I can still kill tridents that the player throws, and I can still have a trident ride a phantom. And the way to do this would be using tags. So, the one that's riding the phantom could be tagged with this thing called chaser. And then anything that's not a chaser, I can just kill all tridents that are the type of trident, but the tag not chaser. At least, I think that's how that works. Let's see here. Nope. Okay. Quick. Uh-oh. Emergency, kill all phantoms. Crap. Okay. Yeah, that didn't work. And that right there is an example of how recursion can come back to bite you. So, recursion is basically what was going on with these command blocks. So, this command block was killing all tridents that were not tagged with chaser. Now, the phantoms would spawn with tridents on top of them tagged as chaser, but it would spawn each of those phantoms at any trident, whether they were tagged or not. So basically it would spawn an infinite amount of phantoms, and that's why it kind of crashed the game. So now this should work, and I think I'm there, saved. Okay, let's test this out. Wham. Okay, and now we have a phantom with a trident on top of it. I can spawn another one of those guys here. Oh boy. Okay, this works. Sweet. Okay, so no need to do any weird retexturing. No need to screw with the tridents themselves. All I gotta do is just use tags. This, by the way, is the first time I've ever used tags, so yay me. Okay, we're on to Phase 4 now. So, Phase 4 kind of has all of the previous abilities of the Killer Bunny, that being that they are arrow-proof, fireproof, and also tridents that the player throws will come back to basically try to attack the player back. Well, now we have an extra ability for Phase 4, which is the Killer Bunny is also potion proof. So if I activate this, then what should happen is throwing a trident should okay then. That's weird. It seems the execute commands aren't working like they should be. Always active, always active. Ah, needs redstone, that's why. Okay, let's try this again. So, throwing a trident should get us an invisible phantom with a trident coming back to haunt us. Plus any arrows I shoot are going to be completely ineffective and in fact destroyed. And now, the new ability, and I'm pretty sure in fact that tipped arrows are also destroyed. Let's check that. Yep, tipped arrows are also destroyed. And now, lingering and splash potions should no longer be effective at all. Okay, sweet. So, here's the thing. Phase 3 involves the Killer Bunny basically spontaneously spawning 3 witches and 4 phantoms every 20 seconds. Now, because the Killer Bunny is now potion-proof, as in potions do absolutely nothing, I can't have witches be used as a weapon against the player. So, we're instead going to use a 1.14 mob, that being the Ravager. So, looks like that's pretty much it. Oh, and also, a new ability is to randomly remove the player's effects. So, let's put those systems in right now. Minus the summoning of Ravager, because, well, Ravagers don't exist yet. That'll come in once this map updates to 1.14, which will hopefully be by the end of this episode. Okay, the Killer Bunny's superpowers are now ready. So Phase 4 has all of the arrow proofing, trident proofing, potion proofing, plus the Phase 4 function. If I activate this, we'll basically activate this randomizer, and if the randomizer succeeds, it'll clear all effects from the player. So this will make the Killer Bunny fight very, very challenging. At least I hope it will. So now all I gotta do is activate this entire system once every quarter of a health bar has been depleted. So once a quarter of the health bar has been depleted, it'll activate this. So this command block basically activates the function of the phase change, and it will increase the phases using redstone here, because, quite frankly, redstone is my thing. And command blocks, especially complex execute as if whatever, is really, I don't know what I'm doing with that. So, Pickle Toes, last episode, commented and said, try finding the solution to the advancement problems and things like that on Reddit. Specifically, the Minecraft commands subreddit. And I joined that community. I am now officially on Reddit as Javamonk YT, and I sent my request as in I need a way to detect being hit by an anvil and the health of a rabbit to detect the bunny phases, and guess what? 2 users replied within 3 hours of me posting that, with working solutions. So, shout out to 1.0 and also Plagiatus, sorry if I mispronounced their names, for helping me out with this. So, 1.0 suggested that I do a bunch of command blocks that I don't understand. So, this command right here, supposedly what it does is it basically detects it detects an anvil near the player, and if it detects that I lost health because an anvil was near me, then it assumes that I was hit by it, and would therefore run this command, which activates the tag cancel anvil advancement. Once that happens, then I got it from here. I basically set it so execute as any tag that has cancel anvil advancement, run place a redstone block right here. And that brings in the automatic fail system for if the player gets hit by an anvil. So if I set this active, then check this out. So let me just hop into survival mode. Don't worry, I have my spawn set here. And let's say if I drop an anvil. Bam! Redstone block magically placed. This is amazing. Man, I wish I was told of this Reddit community sooner, because that would have made last episode a whole lot better. So, and it seems to be perpetually placing the block, which the only way to actually stop that from happening is if I remove the tag from myself. So, at P, remove cancel anvil advancement. Once that happens, then it resets itself. So it does not automatically reset, but that's totally fine with me. In fact, I like it this way. So all I gotta do is have a couple command blocks place and remove a redstone block right here, plus the system to actually give me the advancement. If I finish this entire moon parkour challenge without getting hit by an anvil. Perfect. Now this is where Plagiatus comes in. He suggested a way, or she, I don't know who they are, suggested to detect the health of the killer bunny, I should use this command right here. Whatever the heck this means. I have absolutely no idea how this works. I am very command inexperienced. But the solution works. So let me just hop onto a backup of the world so I can show you what happens. Now, let's summon the killer bunny. I'll just copy and paste this command block. There we go. The killer bunny is now spawned. Let me also activate make the bossbar visible so that you can see the progress that the killer bunny makes. And now, even though the phases are not fully complete, we can at least get an idea of what's going on. So let's now place a redstone block right here to activate the system. And let's also get myself a diamond axe and enchant it with sharpness. In fact, let me get an actual diamond axe. I think a sharpness 10 axe will do for the demonstration here. And now, as the killer bunny is about to demonstrate, I'm actually going to close the portal because I don't want anything falling in there. There we go. Portal's closed with one command. So now, the killer bunny will now be... I'll now hit the killer bunny several times with this axe. As soon as he stops hopping around. You know what? I need a sharper axe. Let's do... how about sharpness 30? There we go. And that way when the killer bunny gets his ultimate resistance, just like that. So now, as you can see by this health bar, it's 3 ticks down. So what? And that means that it's now onto phase 2. So it activates this command block right here, and basically each of these 3 command blocks detects a certain range of health. So if it's in if it's in a certain range of health, it'll activate the next phase. So now, let's see, where's that bunny? There he is. Okay, so let's actually remove. Let's see, at e type equals rabbit. There we go. Uh-oh. Okay, anyways, next up, swipe again. So, again, the player's not going to get this sharp of an axe. It's just not happening. There we go. So that's phase 3 now active. So, there we go. Those are the phase 3 command blocks. 2 of the command blocks have now been activated. And as you can see, one of my favorite features, actually, of phase 3, in fact, of this whole boss fight, the fact that tridents will come out and start attacking you. That's probably I think that's the best part of this whole fight. Okay, where's that bunny? Where's the bunny? I don't see it. There it is. That was odd. Okay, now let's clear all the effects. There we go. 5 targets. Okay. So swipe again. Maybe I should just do distance equals 500. There we go. And now, Kill Bunny can just stop hopping around for a little bit, so I can smack him again. Maybe just one more smack. Okay. Here we go, and whoops. Destroy the end here. Okay, so now phase 4 is active, as you can see by the fact that now this comparator is active, which means all of these command blocks are active, which means it will occasionally just, well, that's actually not ready yet, but it'll basically, once 1.14 comes around, so all 3 of these command blocks have now activated. Once 1.14 comes around, then I'll be able to have a system to do timer-based circuits with command blocks specifically related to the Killer Bunny. But right now, this is the best we got. And now, just one more swipe. Actually, there we go. Killer Bunny is dead. So, there we go. That is Plagiatus's. That is Plagiatus's result. And thanks to him, we now have Killer Bunny boss phases. And thanks to Reddit user 1.0, we now have detection of anvil hitting. Detecting the fact that an anvil hit. Perfect. This actually looks pretty cool. So, some of the animals that are not used in the adventure map are going to have little eye patches. And I'm going to put them in the shining star right here. They're just going to be the people just sitting at the tables. Now, here are some of the animals and things that I gave eye patches. So, the iron golem, I probably shouldn't be spawning it there. Here will work. Okay, the iron golem has an eye patch, and I'd say it looks pretty cool. You saw the pig there, it has an eye patch. I should probably kill this guy before he gets too close to the phantom, aka Elrond the Flies. And let's see. I also gave eye patches to a cow. So there you go. It's kind of hard to see the eye patches on some of these animals, but yeah. Plus, I also gave it to every kind of horse, donkey, and mule. So all of them have eye patches on the part that actually has an eye. Plus, there's a few others that I'm forgetting here. Most of the hostile mobs are actually used in the map. So basically, I only gave eye patches to mobs that I'm not using in the map. So now what I'd like to do is work on the loot inside the Earth Maze, because this is going to be custom loot, and I'd like to be able to put things like crossbows in there and give the player some crossbow related things, plus the timer function, or the functions that can be activated automatically based on time. Problem is, I don't have those capabilities just yet. And welcome to Update 1.14, the Village and Pillage update. Or, actually, I'm right now in pre-release 2 because that's the earliest available at the time of me recording this. So, for the purposes of this adventure map, 1.14 is actually very, very serious because I'm going to have Ravagers as some of the mobs that can spawn. I'm going to add some brown mushrooms to the Shining Star, just as kind of people sitting at the restaurant / bar. And also, there's going to be crossbows, which I'm going to give to the player. Not this crossbow, though. So, crossbows are super cool because, and in fact, off camera, I already added this. So, I'm essentially going to give the player a crossbow, and then at the end of the map, you have the ability to upgrade it to where it has both multi-shot and piercing. But yeah, this is cool. So yeah, this crossbow is ridiculously powerful. And if only there was like a power enchantment for this thing. But yeah, this particular crossbow has quick charge level 5 and also piercing 10 and also multi-shot. So I've fired just a gazillion arrows there, but this is a super cool. This is really super cool. And I'm going to give the player a crossbow. So here's the thing. I'm actually going to even out the crossbow and the bow in this map. So instead of a bunch of food before the Earth Maze, I'm instead going to give the player this crossbow with Quick Charge 1. And this is because a crossbow with Quick Charge 1 has a similar charge up time as a regular bow does. So, but the difference is it's got the advantage of a crossbow, simply by the nature of being a crossbow. Now, in the Earth Maze, I'm going to make the loot myself. So, one of the things I'm going to allow the player to get is this crossbow with Quick Charge 1 and multi-shot. This will be the only time multi-shot is possible to get up until the very end. So, yeah, a multi-shot crossbow will be available, but at a cost. Because if you open any of the loot chests, you fail the advancement of not opening a loot chest. That is an issue. So, here's the thing. I had to actually enable mob loot, because there's actually critical parts of the map that simply don't work if mob loot is turned off. Except when I turn it back on, I had to put in some loot tables so that it would intentionally make it so every mob did not drop anything. Unfortunately, it does not prevent mobs like the Wither Skeleton, and the Zombie Pigman from dropping golden swords, stone swords, or nether stars. So, yeah, that's actually a big, big issue, and I am not sure how to solve it. I suppose I could ask Reddit, which is exactly what I intend to do. So in case you're wondering, these loot chests... Yikes, that's a lot of mobs. These loot chests contain things like arrows, golden apples, and also there's a couple chests that are gonna... This one chest has an iron pickaxe with efficiency 2. So it's kind of an upgrade to the spawner breaker pickaxe that the Earth Questmaker gives the player. So I think actually access to the Questmaker bank comes around at around the time when the player goes to the moon. So they're gonna have a lot of junk in their inventory, or they're gonna end up dropping it off in one of these chests. And good grief, these mobs are seriously in the way. So I think I'm just gonna ask Reddit as to multiple different things. So another thing we need to solve, and it's actually also an enormous issue. It's not just minecarts that are not working when when the vanilla data pack is disabled, but it's also lava. Yeah, this is lava, except it looks like water, which it should not be. So, yeah, that's actually a big issue. I mean, just to prove this, I'm gonna drop a llama into this lava. See? It even gets set on fire. This is lava. And, in fact, it behaves just like lava. The only issue is the texture. And no, I did not use a texture pack. Why would I retexture lava? So, yeah, we gotta fix that issue. Also, something else broke when we carried over to 1.14, or at least to this pre-release, and that is this here. Let's just grab a pink shulker box. If I place a shulker box there, and then say /setBlock at those coordinates, air, like this, destroy. It completely obliterates the shulker box, even if I put items inside. I guess it helps if I actually, place the shulker box in the right spot. There. Totally obliterates the shulker box, even though the /setBlock destroy command is supposed to break the block and get the contents of the shulker box. So that's an issue. On a gigantic list for updating this adventure map to update 1.14, we gotta change how the villagers look. So the villagers involved here are the person you meet here at the Shining Star, I guess the bartender. His skin actually updated quite well to the correct nitwit. That's exactly the intention, and in fact, the trading has definitely improved. So, there we go. The things that have not very well upgraded are Frederick's skin. So, I do like and also the Earth Questmaker. Now, I actually really like how the Earth Questmaker looks with the librarian here. Kind of makes him look like Dumbledore from the Harry Potter movies. And that is actually the intent. So, the only issue is that some of these Earth Questmaker skins have not correctly upgraded. Also, the names have not correctly upgraded, and who knows what happened to Earth Questmaker's clone in the Nether. So, here we are. Now would be a fantastic time to change how they look. First off, the Earth Questmaker, Frederick, and the Earth Questmaker's clone. So, this is going to be the Earth Questmaker with the librarian outfit from the plains, and I really like how this looks. Got the Dumbledore goggles. It's perfect. Frederick, I think, should be a cartographer. After all, in the lore of the map, his purpose is to search for players to go through the map. And so having the goggles here is perfect. Now, the Earth Questmaker's clone is intended to be some sort of pirate, hence the eye patch there. Also, I like the fact that the Earth Questmaker's clone looks totally different from all of the other NPCs. Let's just shoot them all down with a crossbow, because crossbows are awesome. So, there we go. Those will be the new Questmakers and Questmaker clones. That's odd. What kind of villager is this? Yeah, let's actually take a look. Never mind. Need to paste into a command block. So in case you don't know, whoa. I just dived down a lot lower than I shift. Anyways, if you press F3 and I, and while you're pointing at an entity, it said copied server-side entity data to clipboard, which you can actually essentially turns it into a /summon command with basically all of the information that entity is storing, which is a lot. But what's interesting me is the fact that this is a plains villager with the type, and with the profession of cleric. Personally, I did not know that... Oh. And I think I figured out how to do apostrophes now inside names. So there we go. This villager is a cleric. Well, not anymore. Now it shall be a savannah type weaponsmith with AI. Okay, several weeks later, and now all of the problems are fixed. I asked Reddit, and the Reddit users 4P5MC, tryashtar, and A2 31415. Those Reddit users came back, answered my questions, and now this adventure map works in full now. So, the solution involved actually creating a second data pack required for this adventure map. So I have adventure map and adventure map 2. So adventure map 1, it essentially adds all the advancements related to the adventure map. However, adventure map 2 essentially they allow it so that I can essentially summon, like, say, I guess we can summon a sheep. I'll pull out my super looting sword, and this way, if any drops come from the sheep, they'll be super amplified. And as you can see, the sheep did not drop anything. Now, here's the thing. Even with those loot tables working correctly, zombie pigmen still dropped golden swords. Wither skeletons still dropped stone swords. Wither skeletons still dropped withers still dropped nether stars, and so this giant line of command blocks is meant to fix that. So this is essentially going to kill XP orbs and any unwanted items. So this one kills all XP orbs, and this one kills specific items. So essentially, let's actually use my super looting sword here and demonstrate this. So if, say, a wither skeleton like this, and I kill it, it did actually drop a stone sword, but that stone sword will not actually be able to be collected quickly enough because the command blocks are fast. See, with the super looting sword, the wither skeleton is guaranteed to drop a stone sword. Well, the wither skeleton is guaranteed to drop a stone sword. But with the command blocks active, then the wither skeleton does not drop its sword, which is perfect. So there we go. I did the same thing actually for pillagers and also vindicators, which sometimes they would spawn as captains of raids, and that was no good. So there we go. That is this massive chain of command blocks. And with that massive chain of command blocks, this massive chain right here to remove all advancements, all the vanilla advancements, is actually totally unnecessary. And most critically, lava looks like lava, and shulker boxes break correctly and retain their contents, as expected. So there we go. The big problems have now been solved. And now I'm going to show the solution to actually the dialogue display issues that I've been having. So it seems the issue was that the dialogue displayer would I'd throw it in, say, the end, and these command blocks would actually kill the item before the command blocks in the actual dimension could respond to the fact that the experience bottle item exists. So the way I corrected that issue was I basically have it where in the overworld version can be toggled on and off. And I have exactly the same command blocks in the nether and the end, which can be activated or deactivated as basically on command, or on demand. Also, yeah, I did a lot of stuff off camera here. Between clips. So this chain of command blocks will now summon animals for the interior of this building here, the starting building. So here we go. I'm just gonna summon all those animals just so that I can show off what they are. So I have a polar bear, I got a fox, I have a panda which I still need to retexture actually. The I have a donkey, a couple horses, I have a mushroom, a cow, a brown mushroom, a snowy fox, plus a turtle, a pig, an untamed wolf, a chicken, a snow golem with no pumpkin, and an iron golem. So there we go. Most of these are retextured such that they have eye patches, and I still need to put in eye patches for the panda. I also put in an extra bit over here so that if the player happens to be levitating while they're in this place, then they won't accidentally levitate over into the area with the bartender. So that way they can't get trapped inside this area. Because that would not be good. So there we go. And all the trades work correctly. Everything works as it should. So I'm real quick gonna ask Reddit one last thing. See if I can get so over here in the final bit of the map, this Earth quest maker essentially turns to the dark side, or reveals the fact that he was actually the villain the entire time, and then tells the player, "Give me your items." At which point, presumably, the villager, this Earth quest maker, stole the player's armor and weapons and starts using it against the player. Except I kind of took a roundabout approach to this. I have command blocks here, essentially removing shields, bows, and crossbows, and things like that from the player's inventory, and then giving the Earth quest maker zombie villager thingy the maxed out items. So I'm gonna see if Reddit can actually find an answer and get the villager to actually take the items from my inventory and place it on themselves. But of course, updating to 1.14 and asking Reddit to help solve my problems, it still causes some issues. For example, this. What in the world? This room is ridiculously bright because, for some reason, the skylight is still shining through here even though it is not supposed to be able to. This is most visible in places like the Mars drop right here. This drop chute, it's not meant to be ridiculously bright, and yet you can see all the way through it as though you have night vision on, which is very bad. And even worse, this room up here is also absurdly bright, but the rooms below here in the Mars maze are not ridiculously bright. So, what gives? Well, I think the way to solve this issue would actually be to push the button on the world generation option to optimize world. That supposedly fixes most lighting glitches, including those near like the bases of the Moon and Mars, because I saw some lighting glitches on the floor. So I'm going to push Optimize World and see what happens. Here we are, making an upgrade to 1.14 completely permanent. At this point, this map will not be playable in Update 1.13. The world has now been optimized. That did not take very long. I can only imagine just how long it would take to optimize the survival series. I should probably do that. But anyways, that'll probably be an overnighter kind of thing. So now, let's see if it fulfilled its purpose. Is this tube dark? Yes! Okay, so let's see. It darkened this tube. That's good. That is exactly what it was supposed to do. I'm now going to test the Mars drop and also the top of the Mars maze. Let's see. Good. This place is dark except for the doors. And let's see. The Mars drop is dark. Awesome. Okay. Sweet, this works. Okay, I am so happy I optimized the world. Plus, it seems there's no more hard edges on the lighting pattern underneath the Moon and Mars and all that. So, with pretty much all of the issues fixed, I am now going to play through this entire adventure map. Okay, so now that the first playthrough of the adventure map is complete, I now need to I now need to kind of tweak a few things and make some small fixes. Here is the full list of all the fixes. Some of these are small, like making sure the experience level starts at 0, to adding some commands here and there, and there's some things to change, like closing the portal when the dragon spawns in the boss fight. So some of these are big changes, or at least critical changes that would be game breaking if they didn't work, and some of them are very, very small. So one of those changes that is very, very small is actually actually a big oversight. So it turns out I got a little carried away when I was giving eye patches to different animals, like giving eye patches to the sheep and pigs and things like that, except I gave an eye patch to red mushrooms. And completely forgetting about the fact that the most quest maker is a red mushroom. Duh. Derp. So, yeah, that's actually pretty embarrassing. So, some of these changes... Oh, I also made a few off-camera changes. So, redstone dust now looks like a red key here, which is specifically used in Underground Mars to open a chest as a literal key. Plus, I have kelp blocks used as a green key. And I also changed the texture of normal chests so that they look red, which means every normal chest that appears anywhere else in the map needs to be changed into a trapped chest, whether or not they activate redstone or not. Oh, and also slime blocks are not transparent anymore because in this question here of the trivia whatever it is, if you were going down this cobweb here, you could actually look through the slime block outside the map, and that's no good. And one thing that's absolutely critically wrong with this is question 20 of the trivia. So the question, which effects are possible to get from a mob but not needed for the how did we get here advancement? Blindness is no longer the correct answer, because yes, illusioners give blindness. They do not spawn in survival mode, and they impact the blindness effect on you. But now you can get blindness effect from Suspicious Stew in 1.14, which therefore means that this question is totally incorrect, and I'm going to need to change it. The question 20 will now be, which of these mobs do not appear in village raids? With the correct answer being, I think I'm just going to make up a mob here. Some hostile mob. Let's do, so, for those of you who don't know, a village raid can end up summoning Ravagers, Pillagers, Vindicators, Witches, Evokers, or Pillagers riding a Ravager, Vindicators riding Ravagers, and Evokers riding Ravagers. So I think Ravagers and Ravager Riders should be just in their own separate groups. So let's do Ravager. Let's do something riding a Ravager, because those are technically summoned as separate things. Here are the incorrect answers: Pillagers, Vindicators, Witches, and Evokers. Which means we need a correct answer and one more incorrect answer. I think the incorrect answer should actually be the Illager Beast. Believe it or not, this was the original name for the Ravager. And in fact, this was the name for the Ravager all the way up until like some of the latest snapshots of 1.14. I think that's going to do it for this episode. So this was an insane episode, and we finally have this adventure map working and playable. This, by the way, took another round of
asking Reddit to figure out how to make bows and crossbows work with arrows. But now we are ready. I've now cleared my entire inventory. All of my inventory is now in this toolbox for the person who who finishes the map and goes into creative mode. And now with this block of redstone, well, actually, let's hit a couple buttons first. First button activates the totem scoreboard. Second button activates the end. So now I can no longer go into the end without setting off what is essentially a mousetrap. And now, /kill at P. That's weird. The world spawn didn't work. I wonder why that is. Yeah, let's /set block set world spawn there. Okay, let's try this again. /kill at P, and that's so weird. Why is that not working? It's the final part of the adventure map. I thought this was working. Come on. /kill. You gotta be kidding me. Fine. I see how it's gonna be. /spawn point at A. There. Okay. Now /kill at P. There we go. That's more like it. Alright. So that is the beginning of the adventure map, and now, boom, there's the redstone block. Let's clear the inventory, and now, gotta do it. Game mode, adventure mode. So, why am I still getting XP? Anyway, /kill at P. Boom. And now all I gotta do is hit the title screen, and then that is the beta version of the adventure map. The adventure map is playable now. So at this point, I'm going to ask Reddit to beta test this adventure map for me, because at this point I've committed so much time that I cannot beta test my own adventure map. So there we go. By the time of episode 10, there should be a... By the time of episode 10, it should be thoroughly beta tested and bug fixed. So, yeah, the adventure map is complete. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please let me know, and I'll see you next time.